Hello. So good to see your all's faces. Um, Here in a little bit, we'll have to do all the muting and all the things so it doesn't get too chaotic. But for now, it's a free for all, and I'm just excited to see you guys.
Glad to be here.
Oh, how fun! I know all the conversations we always have, but I don't get to see all your faces every time when we talk. I could just, this could be the party. Just me watching you guys. I would have a blast. All
You get boring after a while, I'm sure.
Oh, I mean, eventually, I guess, but it would take a while. It'd take a while.
I'm multitasking.
Right. Okay. It's everybody in the waiting room for now, so we may have some more people pop in, but oh, here we go. Just keep coming. Yeah, again, I'm so excited you guys are here. First of all, thank you for pre-ordering. That's why you're here. And I appreciate you so much. It really does make a huge difference. It helps authors so much. So I'm grateful. And we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. You guys, the guests that are going to be popping in, I can't even tell you. I'm so excited to watch your faces as you see them pop in. That's going to be the highlight of the night, in my opinion. But before we go any further, can everybody hear okay? We're good, no big tech issues, anything like that?
Fine.
Yep, I can hear you good. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yep. I do. So
okay,
that's fantastic. And you guys can, I will say, let's probably all stay muted for most of the time, but if you have something to say, because there's going to be times where I'm open to questions, our guests will be open to questions. If you have comments, whatever, bring it on. I want it to be interactive, but we'll do the, does everybody know how to raise their hand in, I mean, I guess y'all probably know how to raise your hand, but I mean in Zoom.
No idea.
Okay, so
no, I don't.
Let me see here. There we go. We got a couple more. Sorry, they're coming in fast and furious. Okay, we're getting the thumbs up. You guys are finding your reactions. That's awesome. So yeah, now there are going to be a few crazy moments of free for all where we're doing giveaways. I'll explain it as we go. So some moments are going to be more chaotic than others, but we'll just plan on keeping it mostly muted. I'm also going to post some polls that I would love for you guys to participate in, or one poll. I'm launching that now, but I will say this is new for me. I do use Zoom a lot, but I have not. This is my first time using a poll, so I really hope it pops up okay for you guys. And that's just for fun, and we'll chat about some stuff later, but I'd love for you to participate in the poll. Okay. Here we go. Okay, you guys are starting to vote, so I think you're seeing them. That's good. Okay. How do you give a thumbs up? Okay, so the thumbs up is there should be something that says reactions. So like right now, I'm going to my reactions. Zoom is shockingly lacking in the reaction options that they give you. According to Zoom, all you can do in life is this or this, which I mean, I guess is a decent philosophy for life. But so you can, yep, thumbs up and clap, and that's the only options you have. You can, if anybody does need to chat, using the chat is a great way to go. So down at the bottom, you should also, and it depends on if you're on a phone or a laptop. So everything I'm telling you may or may not be accurate on your device, but we do the best we can. But the chat, you can type in stuff too. So feel free to do that. If the craziness is there, that's, unless I'm just full on saying free for all, everybody talk, chatting is probably the best way to get questions and stuff like that to me. And I'll be trying to watch that all night. Our first guest is in the waiting room. So this thing is about to start, you guys. So I'm really so thrilled that you're, oh my goodness, I didn't know we had a page 2. I had to scroll to see more people. That's the most exciting thing ever in the world. Yeah, so Missy is my sister, and she she just typed hello everyone in the chat, so that probably popped up for you. And also Missy's a good one, like if you have, I'm just putting her on the spot right now, but she already offered to help. If you have questions or whatever and she can help and I'm chatting and you don't get my attention, Missy can help with that too. Okay. Whatever, Sarah. Oh, Sarah said she's fangirling over me, but I'm reading Sarah's upcoming book and I'm fangirling over Sarah at the moment, so I don't even want to hear it. But thank you, all the same, it means a lot. So I also want to tell you guys, all night long, we are going to be playing Mad Libs. And not just any Mad Libs, we're going to be playing Hadley Beckett's Next Dish Mad Libs. So at different times, I'm going to be asking you guys for a word, and there'll be opportunities to win prizes through that. I'm going to have all of our guest authors give us some words. Who knows what they'll come up with those brains of theirs. So I think it's going to be just a total blast. I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm going to try real hard to keep it to roughly an hour, but I make no promises. If you have to leave, I understand, but we'll be close to an hour. So it shouldn't take up too much of your life. Okay, a couple more people joining in, and then we're gonna let our guest in here in a second. But before we let our guest in, let's have our first free-for-all. Okay, Emily said her son said, hey, that's the Funko lady. Yes, I'm the Funko lady. The Funko Tower is behind us. If you guys are ever at Monday Night Book Club, you know that I'm the Funko lady. So I'm glad that even our children know that I'm the Funko lady. Telling you, Funko needs to hire me. When are we going to get that train rolling? So, oh, tell Caitlin hi for me, please, Jessica. Okay. Nicole said she actually washed her hair and straightened it out today so it wouldn't scare everyone. Whatever. Well, I'm glad it's a special occasion, but not necessary. Okay, so I want to go ahead and get our first word for Hadley Beckett's Next Dish, Mad Libs. So what I'm going to ask you to do, if you have the chat, let's go with the chat if we can. I'm going to say the type of word that I need. Throw your one option. Everyone suggest one that you want to throw in there. If you absolutely can't do the chat for some reason, unmute and throw it, shout it out. That's fine, but we'll just try to keep it as much in the chat as we can. And then we'll see what we've got. But we're going to start real easy with, I need a celebrity. Can somebody give me a celebrity? Vanna White, Billy Idol, Colin Firth. Oh, that's always a good one. Bobby Flay, Reese Witherspoon, George Clooney, Tom Selleck, Liberace, Chris Pratt. Oh my goodness, you guys. I love your suggestions. Okay, I'm going to just randomly look at one. Seriously, whichever one. We got Bobby Flay. You know, it's almost too good for Hadley Beckett's next dish, Mad Libs, but we're going with it. Okay, so that's our first one. Who suggested Bobby Flay? Let's see, that was Sarah. Sarah, you win our first prize of the night. So you win. Here's the problem with Sarah winning a prize. I think Sarah has almost everything that I ever have to give out because she's been involved in all the things all the time. But Sarah, would you rather have a Katie McCaffrey candle or coaster? And I did that in reverse. Candle or coaster? So type in the comments if you'd rather have a candle or coaster. If you have both of them, I'll get you something else, but I don't think you have those. She wants the candle. Okay, so Sarah won a candle. Way to go. Okay, I'm gonna let our first guest in. Our first guest, ladies and gentlemen, is the author of a book that comes out on June 2nd. She's also a CBA bestselling author. I'm not going to tell you anything else about her until she gets in. Let's see if we can see her. When some of us will see her, some of us probably won't see her. I'm going to make her spotlight. Hang on. There she is. There's Susie Finkbeiner. Hi, Susie. Can you hear us? I can't hear you. Are you muted? We're going to be dealing with that all night. Everybody is going to be muted when they come in. Hi, Susie.
Hi.
How are ya?
Good. I was just passing the time.
What excellent choice in books you have.
Yes. I was just laughing at Indiana Jones Yummy.
That was one of those lines that I wrote so early that I didn't even know if there was a place for it in the book, but I was going to find a way. So I'm going to introduce you because I think most people know you, but just in case they don't. And do you know everybody? Everyone here? I'm sure you do.
Wait, which Becca is it?
What's that?
Which Becca?
Oh, let's see. Becca, which Becca is it? We have several Beccas in here.
Oh, there are lots of you. I just changed my view. Hi, everybody. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you're surrounded by friends. So, but we're so glad, but you're the spotlight, so they should all be seeing you, but you have to look around a little to see all of them. So, but Susie Finkbeiner is the CBA bestselling author of All Manner of Things, as well as A Cup of Dust, A Trail of Crumbs, and A Song of Home. She serves on the Fiction Reader Summit Planning Committee, which let's just all have a moment of sad face that it didn't get to happen in person this year, but also a moment of celebration because it was so fun online watching the things you guys were doing. So way to go on that. Way to go. She speaks at retreats and women's events across the country. Susie and her husband have 3 children, live in West Michigan, and she sometimes is known to kidnap her friends. That's your official bio. That's what it says.
I think that's on the back of the new book. The
Yes.
kidnapping specifically.
It is. It should be.
Yeah.
Now, actually, why don't you tell the people why we have a joke about kidnapping?
Well, because one time Bethany came to Grand Rapids and my friend Alexis and I decided that she was going to hang out with us no matter what, whether she liked it or not. And so we took her to this really, really fancy restaurant and we had roasted olives and yummy food. And then we were just hanging out. And I do this thing called Selfies with Authors, where I
love
take ridiculous pictures of myself with authors. And I was like, Bethany, we got to do something extra funny because your thing is funny, right? So she wrote on a piece of paper, help. And I stood in front of her like this. And what face did you make? Do you remember?
It was a little something like this, I
Yes.
think. Yeah, just a little bit of fear.
Yeah, and I mentioned that on Instagram that she enjoyed it, being kidnapped by me.
And the truth is, it is the most fun I've ever had being kidnapped. So far, I can't guarantee the record will always last, but no, I love you, Susie, and I thank you so much for being in here. And I want to, before we go to our next guest, you have a book coming out on June 2nd.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about Stories That Bind Us. Do you have it?
Well,
Hold it up. Yep, there we go. Beautiful.
This is my backup for when I was done reading this. I'm going to read. No, I'm just kidding. So, Stories That Bind Us is the story of Betty Sweet. It's set in 1963 in Michigan, and basically it's about the power of story to heal our hearts, and how God has used story throughout creation, and how he's still using story to help us grow close to each other and close to him.
Beautiful. And your elevator pitch is so much better than I've ever been able to get mine. Well done. I need to call you for lessons.
I stole that from whoever wrote the back cover copy.
But you've memorized it. It sounded like you were just flowing with it. I'm still super impressed.
Well, thank you.
No, I'm seriously so excited to read it. I know so many people are, and of course a group like this, tons of people who believe in and champion the power of story. It's I think a lot of us are probably real excited for this book, so can't wait. And I also want to say that Sarah says that your eyes are beautiful, and that is true.
Well,
they are.
you. I have to figure out which one. I've got to read through and find Sarah on here.
It says Elijah.
Oh, hi. Oh,
That's Sarah Monson. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know who you are. Thank you. And I am giving away a copy.
That's right, you are.
I am. Once I get my copies, I'll send it to the winner. It won't be shiny like this.
So I think you should ask whatever question you want to ask to get a winner. And it can be anything. And you can either do the answer you like best in the chat, or just the one who does it first, or we can just be real cruel and have no criteria whatsoever. It's your call, Susie.
Okay, so let's go with, what was one of the stories that you heard when you were a child, either heard or read, a childhood story that made you fall in love with stories? And then I will pick a winner at random, probably.
Nancy Drew.
Real time.
Snow White, Cinderella, Eddie and All Grimm Fairy Tales, Mandy Mysteries, Mandy, Nancy Drew, Wrinkle in Time, Winnie the Pooh, Goodbye Pink Pig, Cinderella, The Borrowers, Trixie Belden, Sleeping Beauty, Oz Stories, Boxcar Children, Stories About My Great Uncle, The Babysitter's Club. There you go.
Okay.
Little House books. So you can see them all. You don't have to hurry to pick something if you don't want to, but that was amazing. You guys have great answers. I will say Ramona Quimby.
I love Ramona.
Always and forever, Ramona.
Okay. I'll look through these, and then when do you know?
By the end of the night, because you're sticking around, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yay, Susie's going to stick around with us. Okay, so we're going to let our next guest in, but before we do, for our Mad Libs, can you please give me an occupation?
This is going to be fun. So let's do a manicurist.
Manicurist. I love it. Thank you,
You're
Susie
welcome.
Pinkbeiner. So Susie's not going anywhere. Okay, so our next guest is a suspense author, and that's all I'm going to tell you. We're going to welcome her in. I have to find her to make her spotlight. This is the fun part of the evening, is finding them. There she is. Hello, Natalie Walters.
Hello.
How are
Good.
you?
How are you?
I'm great. You are now the spotlight. I don't know if you can see everybody, but they are all over the place.
Oh, wow. Yeah, now I can.
Yeah.
I just
So
hit the gallery thing and like, woof, there's a lot of faces.
there they are. I know, it's just, they magically appear. So I'm going to introduce you now because they didn't know you were coming in until you walked in the room. But Natalie Walters is the author of Living Lies and Deadly Deceit and Silent Shadows. That's not in your bio yet, but I know that that's the case.
Sorry.
I just grabbed most recent bios. I should have, yeah. A military wife of 22 years. She currently resides in Hawaii with her soldier husband and their 3 kids. Silent Shadows released on March 31st, right?
Yes.
And yeah, tell us just a little bit about Silent Shadows.
So Silent Shadows is the 3rd book, and there's crossover characters from the first 2 books, but this story is primarily about Pekka Gallegos, who is a rehabilitation nurse, and she works at Home for Heroes, which helps veterans in various stages of recovery. And while she's there, she gets a phone call from her brother, who works undercover in the gang unit in Texas, and is told that someone from her past is looking for her. And in the meantime, she gets a new patient, which is Captain Colton Crawford. He is formerly in the U.S. Army, and he is suffering from a movement disorder, which is what sends him to Home for Heroes. And so not only does she have to take care of a cranky but very handsome patient, she has got a little bit of her past hunting her down. So, typical romance and suspense, right?
And say that hero's name again, Captain Colton
Crawford. Yes.
That's a good name.
Oh, he's a good man.
Oh, I'm like, yep, I'm sold. Captain Colton Crawford, I'm in. That's so awesome. And we're getting lots of comments about how much everyone loves you, basically.
Oh, thank you. I love everyone. I see so many faces. Oh, this is so fun. This is like the most people I have seen in like 3 months.
I know, right? I know. I told them earlier, I'm like, I could just watch you guys the whole time and be happy. Just like, hi, faces.
Yes, like
friends.
have like a viewing show. Like we could all watch like this movie at the same time, and it's like a viewing party.
Yes. And it's also a little bit like Brady Bunch on steroids,
A little
like
bit, yes.
in the best way.
I see all the people that I know. Hi. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Sarah. Okay. I'm like, oh, there's Sarah. Oh, there's Nicole. I see.
So yeah, so people are so excited you're here, of course. And I don't know, our first guest, do you know Susie Finkbeiner?
Yes. Yes. I got to meet her at Fiction Readers Summit.
That's right.
2 years ago, and I was so sad we weren't able. We would be we would have been this last weekend there. It's so sad that we had to cancel that, but just means next year's is going to be that much better.
Absolutely. And they did do so much fun stuff online, and I loved that. But yeah, I got to meet you in person the first I know,
and Missy, your sister, I got to meet her as well.
Yep. And so, yeah, so it's so fun. I love connecting with you, and you're going to offer a giveaway for the people.
Yes.
You're offering winner's choice of a book from your series. So that's Living Lies, Deadly Deceit, Silent Shadows. Oh, beautiful. I love those covers too.
Thank you. They did such a good job.
So let's, do you have a question you would like to ask people? I did not tell you to prepare one, but can you?
No, you didn't prepare one, but.
I didn't. No, if not, I'll wing it. But if you've got something.
Maybe let's see. How about, because this is all about cooking with Hadley Beckett and Max. I actually just had like a total disaster in my kitchen. I decided to try 2 new recipes, and it was flour and butter and eggs and everything going everywhere because I wasn't prepared and because I didn't read the recipe all the way through first. So I guess my question would be, are you a messy cook or an organized cook? I don't know. I
Ooh.
tend to lean towards messy, and I'm praying that my bread turns out okay because I'm making homemade rolls that I've never made before. So we'll see.
Wow, I'm so impressed. If anyone was at my launch party, they saw my attempt at pralines. They
Oh, I
were
heard
real
about that.
bad, Natalie. Oh, it was bad. So I'm like so from the messy category. Almost everyone is putting in the comments that they are messy.
See, yeah. Like it's kind of like are you like Max and like organized? Are you like had like clean like I don't know. I feel like I'm a little bit of a mess unless it's a recipe that I really know. But if it's something new, and I did 2 at the same time, and that was a disaster. And then I have, kids bugging me. And they're adults, mind you. They're not like little kids.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the age, does it?
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah. I'm actually not as messy as Hadley. But nothing good to show for it. It doesn't matter how neat I am. So I can't Okay, so all those people, are you going to stick around for the party? You don't have to.
I'm going to try, but I may have to move my computer in because I have to actually apparently punch the dough and then weigh the dough and then separate the dough. And so I don't know if I want everyone to see exactly.
Oh, please.
It'll
Please
be like the
keep
Swedish
camera.
chef, the dunk, like throwing stuff.
Please keep the camera rolling, even because, we have to break from whatever we're doing to watch Natalie punch the dough. That would be the best. Okay, well, what we'll do out of all the chat comments to the response of this, we'll pick a winner later and get that info to you. So before we move on to our next guest, though, can you please, for our Mad Libs, give me an animal?
I will give you the mongoose because that is an animal here in Hawaii, and he's kind of like a ferret-looking thing. But
a mongoose. I've heard of mongoose.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that they brought the mongoose here to Hawaii to get rid of the rat population, but they sleep on opposite schedules. So now there's just mongoose and rats living together in harmony in Hawaii.
Well, that sounds horrifying. Thank you for that image. And on that note, thank you, Natalie.
Bye.
Oh, you're the best. Oh, our next guest, ladies and gentlemen, is, at least they're not birds. I know my friend Leanne said, at least they're not birds. Bethany, yes, I have a major bird phobia. We'll have a whole separate Zoom to give me therapy with my bird phobia one of these days. But our next guest is actually a debut author who recently launched her debut. Let's see, there she is. Let me make her the spotlight. And you are, there we go. Hello, Janine Rosche.
Hi.
So I haven't introduced you yet, but let me go ahead and give you a quick little intro. I love your bio, by the way, so I may just read the whole thing word for word. I was trying to be original with people, but I'm like, I just love that yours starts with prone to wander. I'm captured from day one. So
it makes me sound like a heathen. I wonder how many people won't read my book because they read that.
Prone to wander. No, it's beautiful. I love it. But prone to wander, Janine Rosche finds as much comfort on the open road as she does at home. This longing to chase adventure, behold splendor, and experience redemption is woven into each of her rustic romance novels in the Madison River romance series. When she isn't writing or traveling, she teaches family life education courses to college students, takes too many pictures of her sleeping dogs. Your dogs are adorable and you can't take too many, sidebar, please keep taking them. And embarrasses her 4 children and husband with boy band serenades, which also can never happen enough. So please never stop.
Right.
Hashtag Janine be Janine. So welcome, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really excited that you're here. I was telling them a little bit about, in case they weren't there for the pralines. But the point of that being, you and I got to share our launch day and share our party, and I had the best time because on the same day that I launched Hadley, you launched This Wandering Heart. Tell us a little bit about This Wandering Heart.
So it is an on-the-road romance. It is a bit more angsty than Bethany's are. It's definitely not rom-com. There's a little little tweaks of humor in there, but for the most part, it's more angsty. My heroine she's got a lot of issues that she needs to work through. And so there's a lot of super emotional moments, but it's an on-the-road romance that starts off in Montana and they travel all over the West. It's about a travel blogger that's her secret identity. She's actually a high school geography teacher. And then on the weekends, she takes off and goes out and experiences adventure all by herself. And then she has an opportunity to take that to a bigger, to a TV channel and become a television travel show host. And she needs a little bit of help, which is where my hero comes into play. And his name is Robbie. And he's a single dad who let Kira get away once and doesn't want to go through that again.
And I've read This Wandering Heart. I got to read it for endorsement, which if you guys are ever around me, I don't read a ton, not because I don't want to, just because I have movies to watch. I'm busy. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love reading, but I was thrilled to get to read This Wandering Heart. And you guys, This Wandering Heart in and of itself is amazing, but even if you're not sold on the plot, which I don't know how that could be possible, read it for Robbie. Trust me, read it for Robbie, and then the plot will come along and you'll love it too. But it's so, please tell the people your actor inspiration for Robbie.
Well,
the real one and your mom's version.
Okay, so it started off being a young Robert Redford, because who doesn't want to look at a young Robert Redford? But then I started watching Outlander and it all switched. So it's definitely based on Sam Heughan as Jamie Fraser. He doesn't necessarily have the same hair because Jamie's hair goes through lots of different transformations, but it was based off of one specific GIF of the red curls that keep falling down over his forehead. And my mom prefers it. She imagines him looking more like Fabio. That's more her style. I said, you know what, whatever. If you're going to convince your senior living retirement village friends to read the book, you guys can pretend it's Fabio. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna judge
do as you see fit. But all the same, let's keep picturing Jamie in our heads, please, and thank you. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you were here. You have, so This Wandering Heart came out this month, but you also have Wildflower Road and Glory Falls still to come in the Madison River Romance series. Yeah,
and there is a Love's Pure Light collection from Barber where I'm with Deb Rainey, Shannon McNair, and Suzanne Dietz, and it's about a nativity set that goes throughout the generations, and that comes out in September.
Awesome. You're a busy lady.
Yes.
Well, before we move on to the next guest, can you give me an adjective for our Mad Libs, please?
An adjective. Okay. I was hoping I'd get a noun, but we'll do adjective. Okay, let's say spicy.
Spicy.
Try to keep with the Hadley Beckett food
Love
theme.
it. Spicy. Okay. Thank you.
It's nice to see so many familiar faces. Have a great party.
Fun.
Bye.
Thanks, Janine. And we're going to let our next guest in. Let's see who we've got. Who will it be, ladies and gentlemen? Again, the fun of, can I find our next guest in the circle? You guys might find her. That should be our game. Who can find her first? Whoever spots, there she is. Whoever spots Jocelyn Green first gets the prize. It's me. Hey, Jocelyn. I think you're muted, so we'll have to unmute you here. There we go.
Here we go.
Hey, lady.
Hi. Wait, unmute myself. I'm sorry. Let me get my technology. Okay.
You're good. You're good now.
Okay.
Perfect.
Hi, everybody. Look at you.
Have you seen the full picture? Are you on gallery view where you can see them all?
I'm gonna do that right now.
Because it's
oh,
I
there's
know.
the gallery view. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's a lot more than I thought there were.
I know. Half the fun is that moment of unveiling of, oh, wait.
That is so true. Oh my gosh.
So we're so glad you're here. I'm going to go. I haven't given your bio yet, so I'm going to read your bio and then ask you a couple things. I'm thrilled that you're joining us. So let me get all official. Jocelyn Green is the award-winning and best-selling author of numerous fiction and nonfiction books, including The Mark of the King, A Refuge Assured, and Between Two Shores. Her books have garnered starred reviews from Booklist and Publishers Weekly and have been honored with the Christie Award. You know, it ain't no thing, right? Yeah, let's see. Let's see how big this bio gets.
So just stop.
It's like, no, please. It's been honored with the Christie Award and the Golden Scroll. Jocelyn lives with her family in Cedar Falls, Iowa. And you're, let's see, Veiled in Smoke, which is book 1 in the Windy City Saga, released in February, right?
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about Veiled in Smoke.
Well, I thought you might ask, so I have it right here, but you've probably seen it around because my launch team did an amazing job. It's set during and after the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. And it's really a family story about 2 sisters who run a family bookshop with their father. Their father is a veteran of the Civil War, and he was at Andersonville as a POW. And after the Great Fire, they basically lose everything, and they have to rebuild their lives. They're suddenly homeless and unemployed. One of them gets injured somehow. I don't want to spoil anything. And there's also a little murder mystery in there. So a little something new for me.
And a little something for everybody. I mean, like in the best possible way. It's like,
I hope.
if you weren't already grabbed, which, I mean, how could you have not have been? But if you weren't, it's like the more you talked, it's like, okay, and now I'm in.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was in from moment one.
Too nice.
Yeah. So, and you are being kind enough to offer a giveaway of any of your novels, winner's choice in paperback, right?
Yes. So I didn't want to limit it to just Veiled in Smoke in case somebody wanted something else. So
that is so generous, and so I'm so grateful. So I've been letting everyone, because I don't know if you can see, like Susie Finkbinder's in here somewhere.
I know, I saw her. Hi, Susie.
And we've had, Natalie Walters is I think still in here, unless she had to go punch the bread, which is its own thing, which was delightful. And Janine Rosche. But anyway, you can pick a question you'd like to ask them, and then we can choose from those things later if you'd like, or we can just randomly choose. It's your call. But I love the free for all of the chat. Hurried to try to get an answer in.
Okay, so I get to ask a question of one of the authors that you mentioned?
You can ask the readers.
Oh, I can ask the readers.
And they answer it, and then everyone who answers goes into the drawing for your book.
Oh, that is so much fun. Okay, my question for you readers, what is the book that you've read during this COVID-19 time of sheltering safe at home that surprised you the most? And you do not have to answer a book that was written by any of the authors who are right here, okay? Like maybe just take all of us off the table. What's the book that surprised you the most? It could be, I read something outside of my usual genre and it surprised me because I actually really enjoyed it, or any way you want to answer that.
That's a great question. And things are coming in. Light from Distant Stars by Sean Smucker, Coral by Sarah Ella, The Heart of a Hero by Susan May Warren, so many, Becoming Mrs. Lewis, so many great things. So we've got lots to pick from. So we'll have to go through those later and we'll draw a winner. But that's awesome. Thanks for putting in they're still coming. They're still coming.
I see all the comments. That's fantastic.
Awesome. Thank you. And so we'll get that winner taken care of. Before we move on to our next guest, for our Mad Libs, can you please give me a number?
17.
17. Done and done. Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome.
Are you going to stick around with us? You don't have to.
I can stay until 7, and then I have another Zoom, but
Okay.
I will stick around as long as I can.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. Bye, Jocelyn. All right. So our next guest, let's see who we've got. Again, the little game of, will I find them before you do? I found her. You'll have to unmute yourself. Welcome, Nicole Deese.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Everybody, oh, people are fangirling over you now.
Oh gosh. Hello, everyone.
Do you see everybody? If you click on gallery view.
Oh my goodness, look at all the people.
Yeah, so got 2 pages of people there. So yeah, how are you?
How's the party going?
It's been fun so far. I mean, it's fun for me. I hope. Oh, Sarah Monzon must be like biggest fan because I think she just fainted.
I love her. We flew on an airplane together once, and it was such a good flight. I made her sit by me. So, yeah.
How fun! I've never gotten to fly with anybody I know except like my family that I'm flying with, and that's not the same because I paid for their ticket. I want the surprise.
I know, it's not the same. That's when you just like look for friends in the airport, you know.
Yeah. Well, let me officially introduce you. I'm talking as if everyone knows you because I think they do, but just in case, Nicole Deese is an award-winning author who specializes in humorous, heartfelt, and hope-filled novels. When not working on her next contemporary romance, she can usually be found reading one by a window overlooking the inspiring beauty of the Pacific Northwest. She currently resides and drinking a look. That is why we are friends.
Right now. The new limoncello, what do you call that? Limoncello? I think that's actually how you say it.
That's my favorite.
It's like, I told him, I told my husband, I'm like, this is my childhood summer in a can. It tastes like the best memories. It's so delicious. I just brought some to my friend today. I'm like, here's some limoncello. I feel like it's a great offering of love of summer. So we should all share that with each other, you know.
We should. I agree. Yeah, it tastes like it has sugar. I mean, we know it doesn't.
I know. It's like you can't even believe it's actually just the essence of sweetness, but it really is. It's a miracle. It's a modern day miracle, you know.
It is. I agree. My next favorite, by the way, is key lime because that's almost the same quality.
I also like this one, which is pineapple strawberry. So, of course, I'm using all of my time to do LaCroix ads because I feel like I should get paid. Like, if there was one thing on earth I could get paid for, it's LaCroix spokesperson. So, whatever. But they don't think that about me. So, it works. It's just one way. It's a one-way relationship.
It's a really good way to promo you because it's like, guys, please buy Nicole's books to support her LaCroix habit.
My husband will say thank you. Like, he will send you a personal thank you card for that because I would say about 80% of our Walmart pickup order is my LaCroix addiction. So it works really well.
I get it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We are basically out of time for you, but I love that our time went to LaCroix. That's so on brand for us.
It's very on brand. Yeah, it is.
Nicole and I host a show called Subject to Change, and the whole thing is pretty much like not what we intended to be, and that's why it's subject to change. So this was perfect.
It's pretty much this. This is pretty much it.
I will say, before we let go of you, before I called you mine, I always say before I called you mind, and that's not it. It's mine, M-I-N-E, not M-I-N-D, but it just comes out that way.
You're a friend. You can call it however you need to call it. Girl.
Thank you. But before I call you mine is a beautiful, wonderful book. It's amazing. I've been raving about it for a long time and will continue to forever and ever. And you're also amazing. And I'm so glad you were here. And you're doing a giveaway.
Yes, of course.
What would you like to give away? Copy of Before I Call You Mine?
Yes.
Or what?
Do I have LaCroix? Should I give away LaCroix? Like, and you get a LaCroix and you get a LaCroix. I would do that. I don't know how to ship that, so I feel like.
So let's do this. In the comments, if you have a favorite flavor of LaCroix, put that in the comments. That is how we will select our winner at the end of the night
Yeah.
for Nicole's. If you don't drink LaCroix, and you can just put your favorite sparkling drink, whatever it may be. But then we'll pick a winner.
Favorite beverage, because my husband hates LaCroix, so he'd be like, "Oh, I'm out." So you don't have to lie. If you don't like LaCroix, we will still like you.
That's okay. We still like you.
Yeah.
Before we move on, can you please tell me, for our Mad Libs, an award or honor? So like a specific award or honor that you can receive.
Oh, okay. My mind immediately went to like Bookness, but let's say Grammy. That's a
Grammy.
I know. I should have been more creative, but
I love it. Grammy works.
fine.
Okay. Thank you so much, Nicole Deese.
Yes.
I'm so glad you were here. And we will, you're welcome to stick around if you want, but not everyone can. Your call.
I will, just until my kids start yelling at me for dinner. I'll stick on till then.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We will talk to you later. Let's see who we've got next. And once again, now we play the game of who can spot our next guest first. It says she's still joining. Okay, nervous. Where's she gonna pop up? There she is. Hey, Rachel Fordham, how are ya? You probably are muted. Can you hear me?
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
so bright.
We're running so far behind,
Can you
so I
hear me?
apologize. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, wait. Can you hear me now?
I can. Can you hear me?
Is it working? Oh, it's good.
So, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I apologize. We're so far behind. I'm sorry you were in the waiting room for a while.
No worries.
But so let me introduce you to the people. I think they all know you, but just in case, Rachel Fordham is the author of The Hope of is it Azure? Am I saying that right? I never have like said it aloud, so I want to make sure I'm saying it right. And she's frozen. So I'll go on with the intro and she can hop in and tell me. And yours truly, Thomas. She started writing when her children began begging her for stories at night. She'd pull a book from the shelf, but they'd insist she make one up. Finally, she paired her love of good stories with her love of writing and hasn't stopped since. She lives with her husband and children on an island in the state of Washington. And your newest release, A Life Once Dreamed, comes out on August 4th. Oh, I think we lost her. Okay, we'll come back to Rachel. When she gets back, we'll bring her back in. But we'll go to, we'll go to our next guest. Yep, she messaged me and said that she got disconnected. So we'll get her back in here. But in the meantime, who have we got next? Let me see if I can find her. Oh, I see her. Hello, Rachel Hauck. How are you? Let's see here. I think you're muted.
Hello.
Hello. How are you, friend?
I'm here. Better late than never. Oh my gosh, I literally like had one of those like mini panic attacks. Like, I'm 20 minutes late.
It's okay, because then we are so far behind schedule that I have been late to every single person letting them in. So it makes me feel a little better, actually.
That makes me feel better. So good.
So yeah, so let me go ahead and introduce you in case anyone's been living under a rock and doesn't know you. Let me get back here. Okay, Rachel Hauck is the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and USA Today best-selling author of The Wedding Dress, which was also named Inspirational Novel of the Year by Romantic Times and was a Rita finalist. Rachel lives in Central Florida with her husband and pet and writes from her ivory tower. I love that. Visit her online at rachelhauck.com. The Fifth Avenue Story Society released in February, I believe. Is that right? And you have To Love a Prince, which is book 1 of True Blue Royals, coming out in August. So yay! So
Yay!
tell us a little bit, tell us a quick blurb of To Love a Prince. What can we expect?
First of all, hi everybody.
Can you see them all? Do you get to see? You need to be on
And
gallery.
If I go to view mode, I can. So
Okay,
hi,
good.
And Bethany, thank you guys. Thank you for having me. This is really cool. I should do one of these now.
Thanks.
Now I'm going.
Thanks for
And you
doing it.
all will have to come. Make me feel good. All about me.
Of course, obviously.
To Love a Prince. So I just turned in my rewrite to my line editor, who's going to be my good friend Beth Vogt, and who's also an author. If you guys haven't read Beth Vogt, please do. So it's about Prince Gus, and he is actually a drive-by character in the Fifth Avenue Story Society. One of that main characters, there's 5 characters in the Fifth Avenue Story Society. One of those characters is American heiress, and she was engaged to a prince, and she left him at the altar. Because I thought, what would happen if Meghan didn't show up the day that she married Harry, right? So, right, so that's what happened to poor Prince Augustus, which we call Gus, which isn't a super sexy name, but I got stuck with it. And then I thought, I should really tell his story. So anyway, so it's like 2 years after she's walked out, he's been engaged to someone else, and that broke off, but that was kind of like more of an embarrassment than a heartbreak, but still like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I pick the right women? So he's in Melbourne, Florida, which is where I live. He's working at a tiki bar, grew out his hair, grew out his beard. He's just hiding for a year in this private little beach, in this private little bar. And the heroine, Daffy is her name, Daffodil Caron, she decides, she goes on holiday to this same beach. What do you know? And one day she's on the beach and she gets hit in the head with a Frisbee. And the guy comes over to go, oh, I'm so sorry. Well, she recognized him despite his American accent. This is her prince from home. And she knew him as a child. And so suddenly their childhood friendship and romance is reunited. And that's how the story starts. So it's about healing his heart, being left at the altar, and the humiliation. And for her, she had a huge rejection by the queen when she was a child. And so it's kind of healing that rejection and bringing her into the family and to be who she's always meant to be, a princess. Yay! Like all of us. So of course there's the overarching spiritual metaphor, which I love in royal romances, writing from a Christian worldview. We're all princes, we're all princesses, we're all royalty, really. Right. Our father is the king. Our beloved is a prince of peace. He's the great bride. So yeah. So,
well, we're getting so many comments in the chat. Everybody's like, hurry up, August. This sounds amazing. So awesome.
If you like ebooks, please pre-order. Help me out. There will be a paperback. Right now the paperback's not up. So this is the first book. I've taken a leap of faith and following a nudge from the Lord to produce this one myself. So this is the first of the True Blue Royal series. And if you're going to try to divest your publishing portfolio, I like to call it, it's good to be traditional and do a little indie work, because those books have a different kind of revenue flow for us as authors. And we can do different things with them. So there will be paperback, and I hope eventually there will be audio. So I'm just biting off. Right now I was like, just write the book. I don't care about anything else. Just get it written. I know Bethany understands that. So yeah, I'm super excited about it. And thanks for everybody who's read Fifth Avenue Story Society. I've gotten some really great comments on that book. So I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for, in case you guys don't know, the blurb on the front of Hadley is from our friend Rachel here. So I'm so grateful for that.
That's a cute book. I loved it. Thank you so much for letting me read it. It was so cute. I read it every day in the diner where my husband and I go for breakfast. So it was really fitting to,
all the food. Well, before we move on to our next guest, can you give me a plural noun for our Mad Libs, please?
A plural noun
Yes, ma'am.
for our Mad Libs. Oh my goodness. I haven't done Mad Libs since I was a kid. Plural noun. Chairs.
Chairs. Chairs it is. We'll be reading it at the end of the night. So thank you, my friend. I so appreciate you being here.
You're welcome. I'm going to hang out for a while, so.
Please do. Okay. And we're going to see who we have next. So thanks, Rachel.
Thanks, you guys. Woohoo!
All right. Let's see who is coming in next. Who's going to spot our next guest first? There she is. Hello, Becky Wade.
Okay, let me unmute my microphone and then I can answer. Hello. Hi, everyone.
We are running so late. I'm so sorry. You were sitting there in the waiting room. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. I'm just sitting on my back patio in Dallas, Texas, and I was thinking about the next scene I want to write while I was waiting. So it was well spent time.
Well, in that case, you're welcome. Glad we gave you that by running late. You got that little bit of plotting time. Now let me read your official bio and make you all official here, just in case anyone's not familiar. Becky Wade is a best-selling author of heart-pounding and faith-filled contemporary romance novels and the winner of the 2018 Christie Award Book of the Year. She's a native of California. She's a native of California who married a Texan and now lives in Dallas with her husband and 3 children. And the first book number 1 of Misty River Romance came out. It's called Stay With Me. It came out on May 5th. We were in that massive day of everyone's book launches.
I know it was a very popular book, yes.
It was like, I don't know why that became the day, but it was fun.
This was part of the summer reading season, I think.
I guess so. So would you tell us a little bit about Stay With Me?
Okay, well, like you said, it is the first in my new series. There was a prequel novella that preceded it called Take a Chance on Me that is free to download to your e-reader, but that is optional. So Stay With Me is the first, novel, and if you're not into novellas, you can just begin with Stay With Me. It's set in the North Georgia mountains, and it starts when the heroine, Genevieve, receives an anonymous letter saying that the person who wrote the letter knows something about her parents and that they're not going to get away with it. And she thinks to herself, my parents are so upstanding, they've never done anything. What could they be referring to? And then this sends her on a journey into her past to try to uncover the secrets her parents have hidden. And there's plenty of romance along the way, of course.
Well, we would expect nothing less from a Becky Wade novel. And so thank you for not letting us down and making sure there's plenty of romance.
There's plenty of romance. I'm a romance girl. If you've read my books, then you know that I'm a romance girl. I'm all about the love story. And it makes me so happy to write love stories that are also faith stories.
Well, I just want to say, and we are running behind, so I won't talk too long, but I've said it so many times, but if you guys don't know, like, in case you haven't heard me tell the story one of the 90 times I've told it, but Becky was the kindest, most welcoming person to me. The first year I went to Christian Fiction Readers Retreat, and I'd had no books come out yet. It was a little before Secret Life of Sarah Hollenbeck came out, and she so kindly and unselfishly turned some of her time over to me and introduced me to her readers. And that meant the world to me, and I've never forgotten it. And so just thank you for being kind and lovely and wonderful.
Well, it's my pleasure. And it's one of my joys to be able to support writers who are just coming into this genre, like women like Rachel Hauck did for me. And so it's just kind of, I think it's on all of us to pay that forward. There were so many writers that were ahead of me at every phase and stage of this journey. Like when I was first starting writing, when I was seeking publication, at every phase, writers who were further along than I was helped me and supported me and encouraged me, and it made all of the difference. So if I can do that for others, I'm thrilled. And I'm really excited with everything that's going on in your career. I mean, that was before you had a single book out, and now look at you.
Well, I feel like it's all been leading up to this night and being able to have this party, because this has been so fun. So thank you so much for being here. And you're offering a giveaway of a signed copy of Stay With Me. So thank you for doing that. We've been, I didn't tell you guys to prepare this, but Can you think of a question you can ask the people that they can put their answers in the chat, and then we'll draw from someone's answers at the end of the night. So any question you would like to ask, Becky.
Okay, well, the hero of Stay With Me has an apple orchard where people can come and pick apples on his orchard. So if you've ever done that, if you've ever gone to an apple orchard to do some apple picking, let us know, yes or no.
I love that. So, okay, we're getting yeses, yeses, yeses. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh, we got some apple butter. Okay.
This is really fun to see all of the answers scrolling through the bottom.
Isn't that
Thanks so much
fun?
for inviting me to join you. I'm going to have to jump out once my turn is done because I have a book due in 2 weeks. And so I have to go back and finish my writing session this evening.
Oh, that. Well,
Yeah,
thank you for taking
that.
time out. I so appreciate it. And before you go, can you give me an adjective for our Mad Libs?
Oh, an adjective. How about lacy? L-A-C-Y.
Ooh, that's a
I don't
good
know why that
one.
sprang into my mind, but it did.
I love that one. Okay, we got Lacey, so we're going to read the whole story at the end. Thank you for taking time, especially on deadline, to hop in with us.
Everyone. It was a treat, Bethany. Thanks for inviting me. It was so fun to see all your faces.
Of course, yeah. So thank you. So bye, Becky. Okay, let's see who we've got next, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if there are actually any gentlemen in here, but ladies. Oh, let's see. Oh, there's our next guest. Hey, Jen Turano. Let's see, I think you're muted. Let's see, I think I can.
Okay.
There we go.
Can you hear me? Hi.
Hey, lady. How are ya?
I'm good. Okay. Here I am.
I'm sorry you were probably in the waiting room forever. I've been talking so much and I'm so far behind, but thank you for being here.
I sent you a text asking if I messed up. So.
No, it's not you. It's not you, it's me. So let me give a quick bio in case anyone does not know you. Jen Turano is the author of over 8 books and 2 novellas, a graduate of the University of Akron. She has a degree in clothing and textiles, is a member of ACFW, and lives in Denver, Colorado. So you were part of the massive launch of us all on May 5th. You released Storing Up Trouble, which is the 3rd book in American Heiresses. Is that right?
That's correct.
Tell us a little bit about Storing Up Trouble.
Okay, I have a copy right here. I know it's backwards, but this is Storing Up Trouble. So this is the last book in the American Heiress series, and it's about Miss Beatrix Waterbury. And I started this whole series after reading a book about Consuela Vanderbilt, and she was forced into marriage with this dastardly duke. So I thought, what would have happened if she had said no and would not have married that duke? And that's how the whole story began with Flights of Fancy. So this is Isadora Delafield in the first book, and she is your typical heiress, and her mother wants her to marry a duke. And she runs away and ends up as a housekeeper on a farm. So there you go. And so by the time I got to Beatrix's story, I wanted to keep everything fresh. So I thought, well, she's still going to be an heiress, but she's going to be an unconventional heiress. And her family is members of the Knickerbocker set, which is like the elite of the elite. So she gets away with being eccentric, but she's banished from New York City from her mother for the social season because she managed to get arrested twice. So she has to go off to Chicago and live with this Aunt Gladys, whom she doesn't really know. And before she knows it, she finds herself working at Marshall Building Company. And for those of you who don't know, I have an affinity for department stores because my major was fashion. I know it has nothing to do with writing, but so you will find yourself in Marshall Field where Beatrix takes up a position. There you go.
That's awesome. We're getting all sorts of comments about how much people love your books. You always make them laugh. That sounds so fun. Your covers are always amazing. Jessica Baker just said Norman with tons of exclamation points.
Norman was fun. Norman Nesbitt, he is the hero. He's an unlikely hero because he's a man of science. And I started off writing him kind of like Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory, but I had to modify that a little bit because he was just annoying me. So there you go. So he changed a little bit, but he has a great sidekick, Theo, who is actually Theodosia, a female scientist, and they're both totally clueless about the social norms of the day, which makes for some hopefully amusing situation. I don't know.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt. Oh, well, thank you so much for popping in with us. And
oh, I do have giveaways. Okay, so you guys,
you have a
I don't know
giveaway?
how Bethany's going to do this, but okay. So for one winner, you'll win a signed copy of Slice of Fancy.
Okay.
I even put the autograph sticker on there. Haven't signed them yet, but there you have it. Another winner will win the copy of Diamond in the Rough, which is Poppy Garrison's story. She's one of my favorite characters of all times. I don't know why, but there you have it. And then the third person will win a copy of Storing Up Trouble. So
you have three.
What would a party be without giveaways?
That's amazing. How about we ask people, let's think of a question that they can put their answer in, and then when this is all over, I will draw 3 winners from all the answers. What should it be? Something about department stores maybe, or what would be fun?
You know what? Let's see. I'm always in the market for names. So tell me what you think would be a wonderful name for one of my future heroes.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yes.
Oh, we've got Jackson, we've got Rayanne, we've got Declan, we've got Graham, Brent. They're popping up fast. So
right now I have Herman Henderson. I'm working on him right now. He is I have a new series coming out, the Bleecker Street Inquiry Agency. It's going to open up with To Steal a Heart in November. A little bit different, kind of like Cozy Mysteries. I'm writing the 2nd book right now. It's giving me trouble. Pandemic's really messing me up. Not feeling very witty. Thought about killing off the heroine today. She's still alive right now.
For now.
So there you go.
Well, they're throwing out some great names. So we will draw 3 winners from that. And we'll also make sure you get the list of names because one of them might be your next hero.
Thank you, Bethany. And everyone make sure that you buy Bethany's book. I actually endorsed her book.
She did.
I don't endorse often, but I absolutely loved Bethany's story. I also don't do live videos, so I really must like Bethany because here I am.
Well, now it means even more to me than you were here, and it already meant a lot. So thank you so much for being here. Oh, and before we let you off the hook here, can you give us an adjective for our Mad Libs?
Let's see. Well, my mind is completely blank. So, sunny.
Sunny.
I know it's not really an adjective. Well, the way I was thinking of it is, but there you go.
Yeah, I think it works. It's beautiful. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you being here. And you're welcome to hang out with us if you like. Totally your call. Okay, so let's see who we've got next.
Great seeing everybody.
Bye, Jen.
Bye.
All right, so let's see who we've got next. The game begins again. Who's going to be the first one to find them? I got her. Hey, Liz Johnson. I think you're muted. I'm sorry. I've got you. Hey. First of all, huge apologies. I'm running so far behind. Who knew that making this thing cram full of brilliant authors that I love to talk to would make me run behind? Who could have seen that coming?
I totally expected that. Too much fun. I hope everybody's having a great time.
I think we've been having a blast, and we're getting all sorts of hi, Liz's. We're all excited to see you. Let me give a quick rundown of your official stuff, and then we'll talk a little bit. Liz Johnson is the author of more than a dozen novels, including A Sparkle of Silver, A Glitter of Gold, The Red Door Inn, Where Two Hearts Meet, and On Love's Gentle Shore, as well as a New York Times bestselling novella and a handful of short stories. She works in marketing and makes her home in Phoenix, Arizona. A Dazzle of Diamonds, which is Georgia Coast Romance #3, comes out on August 4th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm so glad you're here. Tell us a little bit about A Dazzle of Diamonds.
Oh, sure. So A Dazzle of Diamonds is about 2 best friends who have never been anything more than friends, and then kind of a slip of the tongue ends up throwing them into the romantic relationship territory, and they end up on a treasure hunt. Our hero, Tucker Westbrook, is accidentally running for sheriff. And so in his election campaign, there's a smear campaign going on by the other guy, the other candidate. And so they have to find a treasure to clear his family's name.
I love that he's accidentally running for, that
Yep.
right there
Yep.
is enough to sell me. I'm like, oh, there's story there.
There is a story there.
Well, it sounds fantastic. People are putting comments about how fun it sounds. Denise Edwards said, Tucker Westbrook. That's a great hero name. I agree. That is a good hero right there.
He's a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I have to point out, you were my very first endorsement. You endorsed The Secret Life of Sarah Hollenbeck.
I was privileged to do that.
Oh, and I was honored that you did. And so, yeah, okay, New York Times bestselling, all this stuff. Liz Johnson's greatest claim to fame is she coined the phrase T-slosh.
Yes, I did.
And because of T-slosh, we got WooCam and we got Hadbeck. You started it all. So as far as in my little world, and honestly, your book achievements are more important than that, whatever. But in my little world, T-slosh is a huge contribution.
You know what though? It was so fun. Like, I mean, I felt like it just fit the book so well after reading the book and loving the characters and loving the humor of the book. It just felt like, oh, we've got to have a catchy nickname for this.
It needs something catchy.
Yeah.
Well, it literally changed everything because I don't know, only 5% of the time have I ever said the full length title of any of my books since you started T-slosh. So thank you for that, my friend.
You're quite welcome.
So you are offering up, and so generously, a copy of A Glitter of Gold.
Yes.
So we've been having each author just ask some random question that you would like to people to answer, whatever you would like it to be. And then later on, I will choose a winner from all the people who answer. So can you think of something that you would like to ask everybody?
Oh, sure. So A Glitter of Gold, I call it my pirate book. Because it's about a sunken ship from the 1750s, and it involves pirates and a wonderful historical adventure, as well as the contemporary story of finding that lost ship. So my question would be, who is your favorite pirate in all of pop culture?
Ooh. Well, I'm just going to, while they're typing, I was going to try to beat them. Dread Pirate Roberts got there before I could even say it. That is, of course, my choice, but so many good. Oh, we got lots of Jack Sparrows. We've got lots of.
Oh, Hauck. Yes.
Hauck.
Once Upon a Time.
Susie Pinkfiner says, my uncles are pirates. No kidding. Which I've been privileged enough to hear that story. And she's not kidding. So.
Great.
All right, my friend, can you give us an adverb for our Mad Libs?
An adverb. Okay. How about brilliantly?
Brilliantly. Good one. Okay. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your party.
Okay, we'll let you know who the winner is, but we all loved seeing you, so thanks so much, Liz.
Bye.
Bye, Liz. And we have one more guest waiting in the waiting room. Let's see if I can find her. The game begins again. This is my new favorite game. Can we just play Find the Author like all the time? There she is. Hello, Denise Hunter. How are you? There we go. Let's see. Hold on. She's connecting. We're almost there, I think. Let's see. There we go. Hi. I think you're muted.
Yep, there we go.
There we go. Hey, Denise.
Hey, everyone.
First of all, so sorry, my late apology. We're running so far behind, so thanks for hanging out and being patient.
Not a problem. It's so good to see all you guys, all your faces.
Isn't it fun just to actually, like, we know the names and then when we get to just all hang out, this is the most fun.
It's
So let me,
awesome. Thanks for having me, Bethany.
oh no, thank you for being here. So let me read your official little bio here, and just in case anyone's not familiar with you, Denise Hunter is the internationally published best-selling author of more than 20 books, including Dancing with Fireflies and The Convenient Groom. She's won the Holt Medallion Award, the Reader's Choice Award, the Forward Book of the Year Award, and is a Rita finalist. When Denise isn't orchestrating love lives on the written page, she enjoys traveling with her family, drinking green tea, and playing drums. Denise makes her home in Indiana, where she and her husband are raising 3 boys. You can learn more about Denise through her website, denisehunterbooks.com. And I saved you for last because you have a book called Carolina Breeze that is coming out tomorrow.
I do. It's almost my birthday.
Yay! Which you and I got to share a book birthday last year.
We did. We did a little video together.
We did. So I think it was Summer by the Tides, and Will and Katie McCaffrey came out on the same day. So so tell us a little bit about Carolina Breeze, if you would.
Sure. So this is the cover. I think it's there. And
So
it is about a jilted starlet who ends up fleeing Hollywood because she's embroiled in this scandal through no fault of her own. And she ends up going on her the location of her would-be honeymoon, which is at the Bluebell Inn in North Carolina. And there she meets and falls in love with a handsome innkeeper named Levi. And there's a hunt for an heirloom necklace and paparazzi and just all kinds of fun stuff along the way.
Sounds awesome. And we've got all sorts of comments of people are very excited. Some people have already read it. No one can wait to read it. It's just like, I can't wait. It just arrived in my mailbox, some people are saying. So a lot of excitement. And you're actually offering up a copy as a giveaway, which thank you so much for that. So I've been asking each author to just ask any question they would like of the reader. It can be, what's your favorite something? It can be, Jen Turano used it to help us come up with some character names for her. So any question you'd like to ask, and then we will draw a winner from all of that later.
I'm always interested to hear, because settings are so important to me in a story when I'm writing, and I always go to the settings where I'm going to write it. So I want to pick someplace good when I pick a setting, and I want to pick someplace that you want to go to, because let's face it, when you're reading a book, you're just immersed. You're taking a little vacation wherever that book is set. So I'm interested, if you could set a book any place, if I could set a book any place, where would you want me to set it? A book or a series?
That's a great question. Okay, what's popping up so far? We've got Ireland, we've got Newport, Rhode Island, the Greek islands, Cocoa Beach, Tennessee.
I haven't done one there. Scotland, I want to go there. That is on my bucket list.
Oh.
Zealand. Do you guys read internationally set novels? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I was just curious. Some people don't like to read internationally set novels, but I love to travel internationally, so I think I'd like to write one internationally.
So you guys need to all say, yes, we will read it if you write something, and give Denise an excuse to travel. That's what we need right now.
Denise needs to go to Scotland.
Well, you did get lots of Scotland in there, so I think that's our winner. What can we say?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, fun. Okay, so I'll draw a winner from all of those and get that info to you, but I'll also be sure to send you all of those suggestions, because maybe the next book is going to come from this party. You just don't even know. Well, for our Mad Libs, can you give us a number, please?
A number. I'm going to go with 18.
18. It's a good number. Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of, especially when tomorrow is launch day. We know what that's like. So thank you for taking time to be here. And again, sorry for making you wait so long in the waiting room.
No, you were fine. It was fun. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you, Bethany.
Oh, thank you. And you're welcome to stick around to the end if you like, but I know life's busy, so your call. But thank you so much for being here, Denise. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. So I saw something pop up in the comments when everything was going so fast. I think Rachel Hauck said she wanted to give a giveaway. Is that correct? If so, let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do it. Okay. So what would you like to ask?
I forgot to say I want to do that. So
That's okay. What would you like to ask everybody?
Hi, Jen, and hi, Denise. I'm sorry, what?
What would you like to ask everybody to choose a winner so we can pick a winner?
Oh, I liked what Denise did, and I liked what Jen did.
That was good.
So, okay, let's do this. Let's name a character in the next True Blue Royal book, which will be called To Save a Prince. To Save a King. It's already a king. To Save a King. And pick the name of a character and tell me what that character will be, not the heroine. I already have a name for her.
Okay.
Sidekick, his assistant, his protection officer. He's going to actually come, and if you've read any of my wedding shop books, there's Hartspen, Tennessee. He's going to find himself in Hartspen, Tennessee. So he's going to be in Tennessee. So if you want to come up with some pick Tennessee character that's very the opposite for a friend for this royal king and prince, that'd be fun.
That sounds fun. Ooh, Gerald, his taste tester. That sounds fun.
I love it. I don't know if we have modern taste testers, but maybe he will. That's a good one.
Maybe he should.
I love Buford. Buford could be his friend. That's really good.
Those are great.
Winston, I love that. His valet. Oh yeah, his valet. Oh yeah, he might have a valet. Gomer. Ooh, Gomer's a Kipling. What a great friend. Ned Steele. All right, I'm gonna have to go with Ned Steele. I like that Ned Steele.
Ned Steele.
His protection officer. We all call him Steele.
See, I'm not messing with a guy named Steele, so that's a good call. That's
a good one. Well done. You guys, all these names are great, though. All of them. Brutus. Oh my gosh, that's so fantastic because you guys know I'm a Buckeye. Brutus Buckeye. Ooh,
So thank you for throwing
that
away. That's awesome. So we'll get a winner out of those, and we'll make sure you get all those names. So everybody be looking for Steele in an upcoming Rachel Hauck novel. Woo! I'm in. Okay, now the fun. I have to find myself. That's interesting. Where'd I go? There I am. Okay. So guys, this has been a blast. I hope you've had even half as much fun as I have. And we're not done yet because we got to finish our Mad Libs. And I have lots of prizes to give away. So I need several celebrity names for our Mad Libs. Start throwing celebrities in and we'll pick a few. Because we've got at least, I think, 3 or 4 celebrities we need to fill out. Okay, oh, those are good. Okay, we're gonna go with John Cleese. Just saw John Cleese, that sounds fun. We're gonna go with Cher. And we're gonna go with Kiefer Sutherland. Because Kiefer Sutherland. Because why not is what I say. Okay, I need a noun. Start throwing some nouns in. Tulip. I'm going with tulip. Okay, I need plural noun. I need a plural noun. Throw in some plural nouns. Bluebirds. We're going with bluebirds. Okay, this one should be fun, you guys. I need a body part. Keep it clean. Ish, you know. Jen Turano said earlobe. We're going with earlobe. All right, and I need a year. What was a good year? 1922. And finally, this is our last one. I need an insulting name. Insulting name. Oh, you guys are awesome. Okay, we're going with snot bucket. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna go back through later, and I wasn't even looking at who was submitting those, but whichever ones we chose, I'll be sending you something. I sent out an email today. Everybody who's here, if you send me your your mailing address, you'll get a book plate, cute little Hadley Beckett book plate that I'll sign and make out to you personally. So all you have to do is send me your mailing address if you haven't. So look for the email I sent today and just reply to that with your mailing address. But also then I'll already have your address if you want a prize. So it's going to be so fun seeing what all the winners were. Okay, so this is going to be our last thing for the night. I'm going to go ahead and read our Mad Libs, and then we'll say our goodbyes. So is everybody ready for this? Brace ourselves. This is from the prologue of Hadley Beckett's Next Dish. Here we go. Cut! The manicurist called out the command, and everyone in the studio groaned. It was a familiar call and answer of which we'd all had enough. We'd all be professionals and prepare to do our jobs. Max Cavanagh would decide not to be a professional and not do his job, and then we'd all have to stop and repeat the cycle from the top, over and over for 2 days, like a mongoose on a rotisserie grill. Chef, what's the problem this time? Glenn, the director, asked from his chair. Max shoved his bluebirds aside and hopped up on the counter. As he did, the knives tumbled to the ground, taking a beautiful cut of unused Wagyu ribeye with them. The problem is, Glenn, that it's insulting for you to refer to us as spicy. I mean, considering the ratings we get for this network and considering my 17 Grammys, I'd say we deserve better. You're with me on that, right, Haley? Oh, where to begin? I shook my earlobe and opened my mouth to speak. I was prepared to tell him that I most assuredly was not with him. I couldn't have been less with him. I need another adjective. I missed one. Throw in adjectives real quick, you guys. Okay, those are all good, good, good. We're going with gargantuan because I don't know how to spell it, but I can abbreviate it. Okay. Until 2 days ago, I had looked up to him as a gargantuan chef and a lacy businessman. Not to mention a sunny television personality. Yeah, Max Cavanagh was totally a sunny personality, you guys. Anyway, at 18, he was only 3 years older than me. Suddenly, Hadley Beckett's Next Dish is YA. Who knew? At 18, he was only 3 years older than me with his 17 Grammys. That is impressive. But anyway, but he'd reached pinnacles in his career that I didn't anticipate reaching until I was no longer young enough to enjoy them, if I ever reached them at all. It was amazing how brilliantly the awareness that he was a complete and total snot bucket had gotten in the way of my esteem. He wasn't legendary. John Cleese was legendary. Bobby Flay was legendary. Kiefer Sutherland was a legend among legends. Maxwell Cavanagh was a spoiled little boy with a tulip he stole from Cher circa 1922 and a propensity toward under-seasoning his stocks and bases. The end. Great job, you guys. Okay. I love this so much. My quote of the evening now is Kiefer Sutherland was a legend among legends. I think that's what we all need to take out of here tonight. That was so fun. Thank you guys so much for being part of this. Thank you for pre-ordering. First of all, a few of you who got to come in at the last minute, who, you know, from the street team, it's like you're either here because you're on the street team and have been so hugely supportive, or you're here because you pre-ordered. And either way, it means so much to authors. We appreciate you so much. Thank you. Let's stay connected on Facebook and all the things. Be sure to, again, send me your address so that I can send you a book plate and a prize if you won one. And that's it. Thank you guys. I'm glad you had fun. I'm seeing your comments. I would love for us to talk, but I know it will be chaos. But if you want to unmute and say bye, feel more than welcome. I've loved every moment of this, you guys. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks again to the authors. Yay! Love you guys.
I'll say goodnight, everybody. Thanks, Bethany, and all the best to your book. I'll shout it out on social media. You're fabulous. So proud of you. Hi, Jen. Bye. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, Rachel. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks, Bethany.
Hey, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
It was
Bye.
fun.
Congratulations,
Bye.
Bethany.
Bethany,
Great time.
so much fun.
Oh, thank you guys.
See ya.
Oh, bye. This felt real for a minute. Like, I mean, it felt real all night, but it's like all the voices. I love it.
All the voices.
All the voices.
A lot of fun, Bethany.
Oh, thank you.
Yep,
Thanks so much for being here. Bye.